making more money for your garden and lawn care business. G'day viewers, it's Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. I've covered a lot of these topics over the past videos about how to make more money. But today I just want to emphasise and reinforce what I believe is the most key ingredients to increase your turnover for your business. And it's not just based on price. When we're starting out in our business, or even along our journey, we quote a lot and we get the opportunity to quote. And it is this point where a lot of people, and I've done the same, that go off the rails because we don't address certain issues, because there's some key points that we must address to make sure that not just to get the opportunity to quote, but actually win the quote. Because every quote we win at a good price, it's going to increase our turnover. Now, the old story is if you win every quote, you're too cheap. And if you don't win many at all, you're too dear. I'm going to have a different slant on this subject, and I think there's some key elements that may help you win some more quotes. And it's not purely based on price. One of the biggest problems I've found over the years is getting back to that client in time for them to maintain the interest in us. When I first started out, we didn't have texts, we didn't have the internet, emails. It was purely the client or potential client would ring up and either we'd answer the phone, more than likely that'd be at night time, because through the day we didn't have mobile phones other than a big brick, or we had one of those great big mobile ones, our first ones, and it was a huge thing, so you couldn't carry it around on you. You had to leave it in your vehicle. So mobile phones weren't an issue. So what happened, normally my wife would answer the phone through the day, and it was surprising the customers that were so happy that someone answered their call and then would organise a time to organise a quote. Otherwise, it was left on the recorder and we'd reply that night. And most people at that particular time, we're talking nearly 4 decades ago, that was the done thing. But now, and this is the word, now, we are in that new world. Everything has to be now. A customer rings up, they want a solution now. So it's important that when a call comes in, that you have the ability to either address it straight away or within a certain time period that you can call back and organise and answer their query and organise a quote. The longer you leave it, the more likely that client will go to another customer, another contractor, or they'll just lose interest in you. But to show that promptness, how many times I'll be out in the field, call comes in, I'll let it go to the message bank because I can't take the call, and that happens when you're working in the field. And then within about half an hour you reply back, and some of the customers go, gee, thank you for getting back to us so quickly. The amount of people that praise you for getting back to them so promptly, you're halfway there to get the job. And it's such an underestimated thing in our business. Yes, we might be busy. Yes, our books might be full. But the old story is we want to replace our crap customers with good customers. We want to continually to increase our turnover, make more money. I've mentioned this in many, many videos. Presentation is the key to success. Now, what I mean by presentation is branded, a $20 logo on a high-vis shirt. The reason why I say high-vis, I wear high-vis because my commercial properties, it's a requirement that I've got to have them. And secondly, working roadside, especially in the morning, a foggy morning, light's not too good. High-vis could be a lifesaver because you're going to be seen. I've seen a lot of guys that go around in their dark, cool little outfits, the gardeners, but sometimes you've got to be seen, especially when you're working around plant and machinery. And that's why we have high-vis. But that's irregardless. Whatever you floats your boat, a branded uniform of any description, but at least you're tidy. You see a cowboy will go up there, what we call cowboy gardeners, your ripped jeans and singlet on, and looking pretty ordinary. Their likelihood of getting a good quote is a lot lower. Sure, they might get lots of quotes and they'll get the cheap prices, they get the cheap ones, I love cowboys because they can take all the cheap ones and it'll leave the cream to the good gardeners, because they can only do so many lawns a day. Let the cheap ones go. I can't emphasise that more. Yes, I know when you're starting out, you're looking to get work, you're looking to put food on your table. But I can't emphasise more, don't go to the bottom of the barrel, because if you do, you'll get stuck there and your business will fail. So presentation is the key. It's so important. And of course, the other important one is equipment. It's important that you have the right equipment for the job. Reliable equipment. Look, I know when we're starting out, finances and money is not it's not a big thing a lot of the times, and we tend to go for the cheap items, and that's good. It gets you going. But at the end of the day, you want to be reliable. You want to show that customer that you're professional. So the purchase of good quality equipment is really worth it. And I know you mightn't have the money, but you're going to have to borrow, beg and scrape and to get it, because you really need that consistency. So you don't want to get to the job, get halfway through and have to apologise, got to go and get the mower fixed. Or I've got a backup and the backup fails as well. Just make sure that you understand the machinery is a part of you. And it's important, you don't have to be a mechanic, but it's important if you can understand the basics of maintenance of your equipment, so that if something does go wrong, you can identify, or that you can provide continual maintenance so you don't get in a situation where something fails. Sure, it does fail. You get the odd one that will fail from time to time. Have the backup really helps a lot. I think one of the most helpful things to increase your profit, to make more money, is efficiency. I think it's something you'll have to learn over the years. But having the good equipment certainly helps efficiency, especially if you're doing larger blocks. You might have ride-ons or standers. Battery is really an efficient way to go, because it's quiet. It's no downturn in breakdowns, hot weather, of trying to start, etc. But efficiency of actually doing your work is really, really important. I mentioned probably previous videos about mowing the lawn. You get the edger out and you actually got a sequence. You mow the lawn, you've got a sequence. Have that down to pat. Save every minute you can, because efficiency is so important. Gardening, preparing holes for your planting out of plants, hedging, all these. Have a think about efficiencies. Now, we're all going to do things differently, but I think you need to really think about and watch and study every aspect of the process of when you're doing gardening or lawn mowing. Watch other YouTubers, see how they take it. A lot of people don't take that in consideration, but believe me, those minutes of each job, over the day, over the week, can really mount up. Because what it can do, it can give you the ability to do more jobs, earn more money. And I think the other thing, and look, there's probably lots of other points maybe I've missed. I've just taken these major points, which I believe are important. And the other one, of course, is following up. Follow up with the client. You've had a first-time client, follow up. Provide a plan, a schedule of what you can do for the future. I've done that one-off lawn, ma'am. What I can do now is I can provide a weekly, a fortnightly service. I can provide feeding, fertilisation. I can provide, top up your garden beds, etc. Give them a schedule. Give them an idea of price, so that they can say, gee, I didn't think it was that cheap. Or, they probably think it's dear either. But at least follow up with your client at all times. Even after you've done a job, a big job for the first time, follow up. Ensure that they're happy. Because if they're not happy, maybe you've done something wrong. Maybe you can learn to help satisfy that customer. Some people, as I know, can't be satisfied all the time, but generally people are pretty good. And if you follow up, how many times you get surveys from large companies, how is our product? Please give us a rating out of 5. I mean, you can do the same. Of course, if you've got a Google ad, ask your customers for a review. Because people, when they search for a new contractor or a new gardener, they'll look at the reviews. And if you've got a lot of good reviews, you might get some more calls. And it gets, that cycle starts again. All the calls come in, and if you can solve it by getting onto it straight away, you're going to make more money. All right, viewers, just a quick one for today. I know a lot of this I've said before, but I thought I'll just put it all together just to reinforce what I'm on about and reinforce to you, if you're thinking about how can I make more money, there's some suggestions. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, some comments and share. And thanks again, girls and guys.